First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Nibbler. Again, thank you for joining us. That is a live shot of Newport, Oregon, right there. And the weather's pretty good outside. I just wanted to showcase that because we have the ability to. But we're talking about something else. It's going to be taking place outside on October 2nd, and that is the Oregon Charity Championship Golf Tournament. Now, this is a tournament with 32 different nonprofits that are all going to be competing against each other, you know, on the links for some amazing prizes to help out their nonprofits. And part of what we want to do here at Fox 12 Oregon is talk about them and actually showcase them to you, talk about each charity and each nonprofit and what they do and all the great things they're doing to help out people here in the community. And this next one, I'm going to say you might recognize one of the names attached to it is the Be a Light Foundation. Anfernee Simons is involved with it. You may recognize the last name as well of our guest who's joining us here. I am joined by Tameka Simons from Be a Light, and I really appreciate you joining us here to talk about this and talk about the organization. And to start off, I think, Tameka, would you mind giving us the backstory of this and how this all got started?
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Be a Light's name was derived from Anfrenee's great-grandmother. Her name was Alpheus Lightford. And so we were trying to come up with a name for an organization that would resonate beyond what we do and what we kind of embodied in our own lives and what she embodied, which was being a person of service, always making sure that she was being a light in the communities that she served and she worked. And so that's how we kind of came up with the name. And we wanted the name to go beyond service, and anybody can be a light to anyone at any point in the day. You don't have to have an organization to do that. So that's kind of how we came up with the name for the organization.
Alpheus Lightford is like the coolest name ever. So yeah, I can definitely understand that. That's amazing. Well, I mean, the thing is, you know, you started this, you wanted to carry on that tradition of helping people out and lending a helping hand and being there to help them. And let's talk about that aspect of it. So when you got going on this, you came up with the name. What were some of the first things that you wanted to do once you had this going?
Well, Anfernee, we talked to him about what would be his target audience and who he wanted to reach and who he wanted to have an impact. And because he's so young, of course, he wanted to tailor that to the youth, at-risk youth and young adults, people that live in marginalized communities that don't have the resources to be successful. And so that's how we came up with our target audience of who we wanted to reach. And so we do that with young adults and younger kids as well.
Well, you mentioned, I mean, yes, Anfernee, obviously a seasoned basketball player at this point, but still, he's pretty young. So that's pretty great that he's already, you know, giving back and helping out in that aspect. So you get going on this charity, you get, you know, you figure out your target, you figure out who you want to help out, you want to help out other young people. What's the next step that you took after you decided that, after you decided, you and Anfernee, who you wanted to go after? What was the next step in getting the charity going?
Of course, you know, there's legal paperwork. We don't have to go into all of that, but we started in our hometown of Altamont Springs, where he kind of started and grew up and I grew up, as a pilot community. We knew the community, we knew the people there, and so we wanted to figure out ways that we could help the youth. Started with small things like doing camps, giving out backpacks. We did some turkey drives there, and then during COVID, we opened it up for a town hall to do different things, to give the kids something to see and hear. So we started off with them getting to know Anfernee as the CEO of our nonprofit, and then moved into other areas that were main topics that would help the youth and give them something to do when we couldn't go outside and hang out. So COVID was a huge time for us to plan, come up with ideas, but we started first in our small town of Altamont Springs, and we've expanded now into Oregon.
So really, yeah, expanding it from there, you get to test out probably some things there during COVID, but that's what a trying time too, to try to engage with people.
Yes.
You know, difficult for everybody during then. So you took those lessons, now you're expanding this to Oregon. Talk about that transition over to here and maybe some of the things that you've done here in the community in Oregon.
Sure, we've worked with some local schools. We've done some things around, there's a school there that tailors to teen parents. So we've helped them with getting gifts for their kids. We partner with the Salvation Army there to give out gifts during Christmas. We've also done some things where we were able to partner with the Boys and Girls Club. They have a lemonade stand they did this past weekend. We've done camps this year in Oregon. just different avenues we've taken. But one of the things we really loved with the the stand that they did for the Boys and Girls Club was it was really centered around financial literacy. And so we were able to come out and see them in action run their own lemonade stand for a business. And we thought that was really cool to expose them at a young age of how a product can turn into monetary value for them and what they do and how they can talk about things that they had to pay for and come up with their bottom line. So we were really excited about being a part of that project. And then we also partnered with Rig Raiders and Xfinity to redo their gaming room at the Boys and Girls Club as well. So we were really excited about that project as well because we know kids now, they love to game. They love to do different things. And then we also were able to partner with Xfinity to get them some laptops. So when they come there for after school, if they have things they need to do on the computer, they could go ahead and take care of those before they got home with mom and dad. So it was really cool that we were able to partner with the local Xfinity to get that done.
That's great. I mean, and just talking about the lemonade stand too, learning about, financial information, financial education at that age too is just going to help out further down the road once they're involved in things and understanding all of that. So really exciting. For you personally, being involved in this, is there any one thing that stands out to you as maybe your proudest moment or the moment that made you the most happy about being a part of this charity?
I think every year when we do our scholarships, we've expanded that the last 2 years to Oregon as well. That makes me really happy because we're able to help them in their dreams, and they write in and tell us how they're going to be a light to their communities or when they're done with school. So some of the stories are so touching. I'm a mom, and so of course all of that stuff hits me right dead in the center. And so I am so excited to hear about how we can help. Some of the stories are really sad, but to see them overcome things and push through at a very young age, that's really why we formed this. We want to be able to help them and give them guidance and ways of being able to help their futures be brighter than what they currently are.
So that's part of the process is they write an essay?
Yeah, they have to write an essay and tell us how they're going to be a light to the community or how their job that they're picking is going to be a light to the world and help out. And so when they send that in, we get to read them. And then we have a committee of people that will pick the finalists that will get those particular scholarships for that year. So it's been really cool to be a part of that process.
What's that feeling like when you get to hand out that scholarship to whoever it is that won it?
I mean, it's undescribable. I mean, just being able to be a part of their future. They took the time to send in their information. A lot of the kids are so smart and so organized and have gone through so much. They're so mature, even at their ages. So it's just, I can't even describe how great it is just to be a part of that.
You mentioned, being a mother, and obviously, we all know who Anfernee is. But with that, how does that feel for you, seeing Anfernee not only succeed in the NBA, but really do something like this and be wanting to give back to the community? How does that make you feel?
Really, really good as a parent. I think one of the biggest things that my husband and I always have taught our kids is it's really great to be successful in all of your professional paths, but it's even more of a joy when your parent finds out that you're a good person. I think that's kind of the biggest thing that we push with our kids, that's lasting. That's what you want people to know about you. And so Anthony's always been a good person. And so we've always been proud of him. And so him doing something like this was kind of a no-brainer to give back and find ways to help other people. So we're really more excited about that. We love that he's a professional basketball player, but we're more excited that he really has a good morals and values, and he's really a good guy.
So it's kind of par for the course for him.
Yeah, for sure.
And now that I just said that, I realized I made a transition. So let's talk about golf.
Okay.
Feelite is going to be part of the Oregon Charity Championship Golf Tournament coming up again on October 2nd. So you have all of these different nonprofits that are going to be competing for some prizes, but also really just getting the word out about what everybody does.
Right.
How does it feel to be selected to be a part of this?
Man, it's amazing. When they approached us about it, it was a no-brainer. We get to spend time with people that are doing things in the community like us. And so that's going to be some great fun time to just talk about what we're doing as a community, but also have some golf involved too. I'm not the greatest golfer, but for charity, I'm going to try. And we are competitive. So we're trying to put together the best team to win, of course.
Is Anfernee a golfer?
Not yet, but I think one day he will be.
That's still in the cards. All right. It's something else I want to bring up, and this is kind of what I'm asking everybody is, if you were to win this and win, say, one of the top prizes, what's one of the goals you would have with the prize money that you win?
Just to continue to help out the community. Of course, we'll give out more scholarships each year. We increase that, so we'll continue to do that. We'll find ways and gaps and holes in the community. We definitely want to launch a financial literacy course for kids, starting from middle school into high school, because we know they need that, those life skills and kind of talking about those things. So that will definitely help us get that going. I know mom and dad talk about that at home, but I think that's something that needs to be incorporated into the school system as well, because that's for the rest of our lives. We have to know about money, about credit, about different things and how the world works. And so that's one of the programs that we're looking to launch in Oregon.
It's so incredibly important for everyone, yet especially if someone hasn't been exposed to that or doesn't have that kind of knowledge. For other people out there, in the community that want to get involved or want to help, how do you engage them in that aspect?
We have a website. You can go on there, reach out to me directly. If you have questions, there's ways to donate on there as well. That website is www.be-a-light.org.
bealight.org, and with dashes in between each one, so that's where people can go. And well, Tameka, I want to say thank you very much, for joining me to talk about what you're doing and how you're helping out here in the community. I think the last question I have is how important is it for you to be involved here in the local Portland community?
I mean, we always teach, where you work and live is very important, that you're part of your community and you help in the ways you can. So Anfernee lives and he works there. So it's very important that he helps out in any way that he can. And the way that he wants to do that is through the youth. So my husband and I are going to support that in any way we can and try to build this organization so that we can make an impact in Oregon.
Fantastic. Tameka, thank you very much for being here, for being on Fox 12 Now. Really appreciate it. And best of luck in the tournament.
Thank you so much.
All right. And thank you to everybody, too, for joining us here on Fox 12 Now. Again, we're live here every weekday, 1 p.m. Pacific, and then throughout the afternoon, we have some great interviews just like that. We just spoke to Tameka Simons about their organization, Be a Light. Find out more information there at that web link that she just gave out. And coming up here in just a little while this afternoon, if you're watching live on one of our apps, or maybe you're watching on the website, or one of our social media channels, any of those are great options. I am going to be playing my interview from this morning. This has not aired yet, with U.S. Representative Andrea Salinas about some different ways that she is trying to help out Oregonians and tackling some big issues that are happening in this state. So that's coming up here in just a little while, so you'll definitely want to tune in for that. I believe about 2:30 p.m. Pacific is when that's going to be airing, so depending on when you're watching. But I'm going to sign off for right now. You can catch all of our interviews under the Fox 12 Now tab on YouTube, and also there's one on the website as well, so that way you can go there, take a look. You can see the interviews like I just did right now, and then all the other stuff that we cover here. So thanks for tuning in. I'm going to just log off for a little bit, but I'll be back. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.